Hello and welcome to Pure Word Creations. My name is Tahira. I have a custom journal to show you all. A childhood friend of mine asked me to create a journal for her sorority line sister. They are both members of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. And so you'll see symbols relating to that sorority, and their symbols are elephants, pyramids, African violets, and so there will be, nods to that as we look through. The back cover here, I didn't have fabric that complemented the front cover. So this used to be blank canvas, and I had more of this Korean language. Uh, I think it's handmade paper that I got from Blick some years ago. Um, and most of it is on the front cover, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, I had more of it, so I figured that I would collage it along with some black gesso and some textured paste. So there is some dimension to it, and there's some stripes of pearlescent watercolors. And then I just laid down a liquid gel medium so that it wouldn't lift off. And there's some ButterbeeScraps metal corners there. On the spine is a fabric that I received from Renee at GT Designs and Vintage Art Supplies, as well as this black lace that's kind of covering an acetate pocket. This journaling card has a magazine image on it, along with some Dollar Tree stickers that I kind of used to accent the front image. And this red paper is like a textured paper that I got from a Dollar Tree paper pack, along with this uh, off-white cardstock. And thank you to Rosemary Morris, who who opened up a pack on one of her live videos and said, "Hey, this paper pack is worth it. There are handmade papers in here," because I had passed by those paper packs at Dollar Tree like a million times, and I was like, "I have paper," but she was right. They're awesome. And here is the front cover without the journaling card. So there are two different kinds of black lace on here. This is from Renee, and then this black lace that I got from a secondhand store on my travels. Um, I just used it to outline the border because the paper did not cover the entire front cover. All right, so on to the insides. So the end papers are eco-dyed papers from Rosemary Morris, because she's a genius, and I have to use her papers and everything. So you can see both of the end papers there. Okay, and there's the inside spine fabric. All right. Here's some paper behind this tuck spot, some Tim Holtz paper that the recipient can work. She's a visual artist herself. She has a doctorate in speech pathology, and yes, there's some other interests that we'll hit upon as we flip through. I received this huge box of just blank wedding invitation paper, and the paper is just really, really lovely. And this paper is like I don't, some kind of natural fiber paper that I got that came in a notebook. I just tore some sheets out. This is a collage tag or journaling card with some Tim Holtz stickers on the bottom. Image from some photos that I found at my antique shop, my local antique shop. Here's an image from a magazine. And the colors of the sorority are crimson and cream, so you'll see those colors throughout. Here's a beautiful printed and dyed fabric piece from Magdalena at Fat Pickle Studio. Her work is incredible. And she has a YouTube channel, so please check her out, as well as an Instagram page. I will list her information below. Here is I tea-dyed some papers, and some of the ink ran, and I had some, just blank business envelopes, junk mail envelopes, lying on top of them, so they had these really cool colors that came out. And then inside of there is one of those French language flashcards that fit perfectly in that little space there. And I got that card from A Tattered Dream years ago. There's some magazine pages and many different papers. Here is a language study goal tracker from Talk to Me in Korean. The recipient is learning Korean and the culture and the food and K-pop and K-drama, and that's right up my alley. So a lot of the stuff that is Korean, that has Korean on it or has reference to Korean culture, I already had in my stash, so I didn't have to look too far. This is a beautiful stationery piece from GDB, Geneva Bowers. Elephant stamp. On Renee's coffee dyed paper, Renee from GT Designs. Here is an eco-dyed and naturally printed or stamped paper from Magdalena at Fat Pickle Studio. I always try to leave extra paper clips for the recipient to use. Here's another journaling card with some buttons from my second family's mom. And this is actually tulle. There's some white gesso, but then there's tulle, like this really light lavender tulle that I have on different parts of the journaling card. I love textural elements, so I often add them in my journals. There's a magazine page that is backed with Renee's coffee dye paper. Book pages from Rachel Garahan's book, A Beauty Collected. And my friends, as they were pledging, they were called the 12 eminent stones of wisdom. So they were all called a gemstone. So my recipient stone is topaz. So you'll see references to gemstones in here too. Here is a coloring page of Basquiat by Madame Adrienne Muse, artist. sticker by Capital Sheet Designs and magazine image. And here's Blast from the Past. I love these highlights, hidden pictures. They used to be in my dentist's office when I was a child. I loved going through them. Here's a little bit more of that Korean language handmade paper. Here's some tea-dyed tracing paper and a little ephemera piece from Sunny Sunday. It's a French check, I believe. Paper bits in there. Eco dye paper from Rosemary Morris. Magazine image. Going along with the crimson and cream color palette. And here are digitals from Renee at GT Designs. A book page from the Book of Symbols that is published by Taschen, backed by Renee's coffee dyed paper. It's the center of the first signature. Bisa Butler postcard. Graph paper also, or ledger paper also from Renee. There's an inside joke about Mary McLeod Bethune, so I was asked to put an image of her in the journal. I don't know what the inside joke is. I did not ask. Here are two book pages glued together from a Gather journal of a Korean dish called japchae. And my second family always has this to eat. I haven't been there in a long time because of the pandemic, and I'm missing the food big time. Okay, here's a postcard, art from Nishishuku. And a big envelope with a Lin Jianing washi label sticker. On to the second signature. It's a greeting card. Some graph paper that's perforated in the center. Since she's a visual artist, I wanted the tabs to be different textures. And this is just a burlap piece. We passed some avocado-dyed cheesecloth from Renee, and this red felt piece that I've had in my stash for a while, and first time using it actually. Here's a digital from 49 Dragonflies. Some more paper bits, tags from Lin Jianing, and then some trading cards. Yo, MTV Raps. Y'all remember that? I found them at Black Vintage Market online. They're a black-owned antique store. in California. They have an online presence if you're interested. Here is a card, Sonia Choquette card. It says Rejuvenate. And the recipient is into trying different types of ramen lately. So here is a and a coloring book page from the Millennial Z Woman coloring book by Toyin Akinrosoye. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And then I found this magazine page as well, and backed it with Renee's coffee dot paper. It's just a glassine envelope and baggie that she can use. Here are digitals by Kelly Maleka. Some Midori paper, graph paper inside there. Same Kelly Maleka digital. Here's a dyed paper from Magdalena at Fat Pickle Studio. Another Gather Journal book page, magazine page. Here's the other side of that Magdalena paper with her original stamping, her original stamps that she makes. Some just notebook paper. This is actually graph paper. You can't really see it. It's blank on one side and then has pink graph lines on the other. Some notepad paper. Here's stationery from a Japanese company. I cannot recall which one it is, and this is a Dollar Tree, from a Dollar Tree pad. I found a records ledger at my local antique shop, and the paper is huge. I mean, I cannot fit it in the frame all at once, but the beginning of the book was filled in with different things, and then all of the other pages are blank except for this one, and it had the word elephant written on it. So I thought this may have to go into this journal. I did not write that. It was already there. The journaling spirit guys were with me when finding ephemera for this journal. Here's some lace, a different texture, black lace from Renee. It's a library card in a baggie. Again, 49 Dragonflies digital. More eco dyed paper and stamping, printing from Magdalena, and this is some recycled paper that fits into the pocket that's sewn on the paper, this back paper. Another inside joke regarding the word epitome. Again, I do not know the joke, but my friend said that her line sister would laugh, so I had to put it in there. It's a magazine image and a postcard behind there. Here are two magazine pages from a magazine that I got that was featuring BTS, and these are just ad with one of my favorite actors in K-dramas. Here are some images of BTS, Korean K-pop group, or K-pop group. Was and just another ad. And again, the Rosemary Morris's beautiful eco dyeing for the back end paper. And there you have it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care.